Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the end of Casey Bird's case is here as a judge carried his sentencing out yesterday. And some students were finally able to return to their school that was damaged in the 2022 flood.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. We're at 5:30 this Tuesday morning, and it is also a first alert weather day, but not for reasons you may think. So let's send it over to meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast.
And it's because of heat and humidity, that's for sure, Madison. As we hit through the next several days, we've got the hot temperatures topping out in the 90s. Combine that with the level of humidity, and heat index feels like values will be in the triple digits as we hit through the afternoon. Definitely got to take the precautions as you can take note of the heat index values heading for the playing fields this afternoon, but not only in terms of football and soccer. Some of the gymnasiums that aren't too well ventilated, they can be very steamy when you get a very good 5-set match of volleyball going. 65 low visibility outside our door and generally 60s across the Commonwealth this morning. Some of us are obviously in the low and mid 70s toward Lexington and Louisville. All right, nothing going on. High pressure's right on top of us, just the low clouds and fog that burn off between 8 and 9 o'clock everywhere with a lot of sunshine. We're up to 92 here in Hazard. We hit 92 in Jackson. We'll end up tying, I'm probably going to break the record high previously set in 2007. More about your ARH First Alert 7-day forecast and when we can cool down coming up in this half hour. Madison?
All right, Tim, thank you. Kentucky State Police is investigating a shooting that happened in Clinton County. Troopers received that call on Saturday, responding to an incident that happened on Wolf River Dock Road. The preliminary investigation found Wesley Russell and his wife, Mary, were involved in a domestic violence incident. Wesley Russell was found with multiple gunshot wounds and was pronounced dead at the scene. A judge has sentenced a Southern Kentucky man to prison for the murder of a police officer. Casey Bird was convicted by a Warren County jury for the death of London Police Sergeant Logan Medlock, who died nearly 2 years ago. Bird learned his official punishment for the crimes of murder, DUI, and criminal mischief. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke with Sergeant Medlock's family and London Police about the end of this lengthy case.
Family, friends, and first responders filed into a London courtroom on what was a very special day many years in Logan Medlock's life.
Today is Logan's birthday. He would be 28 years old today if he was here with us today. You know, we're having to celebrate his birthday in a courthouse.
They packed the courtroom to see Casey Bird sent to prison. Bird was convicted 2 weeks ago by a Warren County jury for Medlock's murder. Bird drove drunk in October of 2022, and testimony was that he went 70 miles in a 35 zone, ran a red light after consuming a lot of beer and whiskey at a friend's house, and crashed into Medlock's cruiser. He received the jury's recommended sentence of 20 years on the murder charge.
Nobody wins in this situation, but we do celebrate here today that the judicial system's done its job.
I did speak with Casey Bird's attorney over the telephone, and he tells me that they are pleased that the jury came back with the minimum sentence that they could receive. And he also says that Casey Bird will be appealing this verdict. But Medlock's family says the jury could have also returned a lesser charge than murder.
We done a lot of praying, and you know, we had to put it in God's hands, and whatever his will is will be done.
We're happy that justice was served. You know, we're happy with the outcome, but you know, it still doesn't bring back Logan.
Sergeant Medlock received numerous awards for his drunk driving enforcement. Police say that dedication will continue to be pushed by the entire department. In Laurel County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Bird's attorney also asked in the pre-sentence investigation report that the Department of Corrections note that Bird is a former corrections officer and that could impact his security while being held. A Pike County man is facing charges after he exposed himself to a woman. It happened Saturday when Gary Runyon approached a woman at the Appalachian Plaza parking lot where he, quote, showed his genital area. In the arrest citation, it claims Runyon followed the woman to the gas station, still trying to harass her. Police say when they made contact with Runyon, he appeared to be intoxicated. He was taken to the Pike County Detention Center. A Louisa man is facing charges after police found drugs in his underwear in West Virginia. Over the weekend, officials with the Wayne County Drug Enforcement Unit stopped a car. During the stop, they say they noticed Kyler Messer, one of the passengers in the vehicle, trying to hide items. That is when police found meth along with baggies and fentanyl. Police also found a handgun and money. A woman is facing charges after she reportedly tried to resist arrest in Laurel County. Police were called out to Old Salem School Road Sunday after receiving word about the incident from Laurel 911. Officers later learned that Rachel Vaughn had reportedly been on property that was not hers for several hours. After being told to leave several times, she kept coming back. Police then arrested Vaughn, and they say she kicked an officer and a police cruiser. The sheriff of Kentucky's smallest county is facing his second DUI charge. State police confirmed troopers arrested Terry Gray of Robertson County. They say they got a call Sunday evening about someone driving a tractor off the road. According to his arrest citation, Gray smelled of alcohol. Troopers say he refused a breathalyzer and called his attorney. He was then taken to the hospital for a blood test before being taken to the Bourbon County Detention Center. He has since been released. A Kentucky man is facing charges after he reportedly jumped through the front glass of a business while trying to get away from police. It happened Sunday morning in Boyle County when police received word about a man in the emergency room who may have been under the influence. Victorino Gonzalez Zapata ran off from police but was later arrested after they had found he had jumped through the front glass of Sherwin-Williams in Danville. Former President Donald Trump's running mate J.D. Vance was in Lexington last night fundraising for the campaign. It was hosted by Joe and Kelly Craft. Tickets for the fundraiser started at $2,500 per person. Congressman Andy Barr and Hal Rogers co-hosted. Congressman Barr talked about the visit.
He is familiar with the values and the hardworking ethic of the people of Kentucky. And I am confident as Vice President, J.D. Vance will be a tireless advocate for the people of Kentucky and this nation because he has that Eastern Kentucky Appalachian grit.
Kentucky Democratic Chairman Coleman Eldridge criticized the Vance event, saying Vance is pretending to be Appalachian while attending a ritzy event. Vance is scheduled to go on to Tennessee for a fundraiser later today. Yesterday was the first day of classes for Buckhorn School students and administrators. This first day marked not just the first day of classes, but a return to their newly renovated school building, which was flooded in July 2022. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox tells us how the Buckhorn School reopening makes a big impact.
The moment was described as surreal. Students walking through doors and halls of Buckhorn School for the first time in years.
I've been here since I was in kindergarten, and at such a young age. I mean, I remember the building from how it was then, and just seeing it now with all the new stuff, it's just, it is kind of surreal.
Administrators had to delay the start time because of construction. They say they are now more than 90% completed.
Our gym is still being worked on, our library is still being finished.
Although they may not be finished, student Jody Stamper described returning as a dream.
There's flaws, but those don't even matter to us. You know, it feels so good to be able to be home.
Numbers have shown results from that feeling. Administrators say they had a first day attendance of 325 students, which is more than last year.
We expect those numbers to increase, you know, since we just now got the building open.
Hickerson says attendance will more than likely increase because of shorter travel time.
Here, you know, my parents' 30 minutes would be probably our longest drive out.
Hickerson also says she expects transfers from other schools as students look for smaller settings. Regardless of how many students, however, for those who are there now, it is a return home. In Buckhorn, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Buckhorn School students were going to class at the old A.B. Combs School, which is a much longer drive. Principal Jennifer Hickerson also says they expect crews to be working during afternoons to get renovations completed. Berea College in Madison County is now offering more financial assistance for its students. The college says thanks to a donor, course-specific items like lab materials or travel costs are now free. For nursing students like Gabby Hatfield, lab materials can cost around $150 to cover. She says the lower cost of these resources lessens financial stress.
I like to save my money personally, so having that covered lets me pay my bills that I have at home.
The coverage is set to last throughout the school year with hopes to continue on in the future. Road work is underway for parts of Pulaski County. A stretch of East Mount Vernon Street was shut down yesterday for repairs. The section between South Central Avenue and College Street, Kentucky 2296 is closed to traffic. It is expected to open back up Friday, but that could change based on weather and delays. When we return, one of the world's biggest stars is heading to the stage to host the MTV Awards.
Not too bad temperature-wise right now. Same thing when it comes to dew points too. The dew point near 70 in Monticello. Ooh, 90s and 70s. When you combine them, not a good thing on the weather department. We'll explain. Your first alert 7-day forecast is coming up right after this.